Tonight, the Prime Minister breaks down the standoff with doctors, pointing to overtime pay and accountability concerns at public hospitals. Could unresolved issues lead to more unrest? And new union, new era. Workplace frustration spark change at Btvi as new representatives step in to tackle low wages and contract issues. Our track stars thrive on the collegiate circuit, but could the same formula unlock Olympic glory in the pool? Find out in the continuation of our week-long series, Swimming in Paradise. Then in our news at 7:30, PM Davis says his government has honored a controversial union agreement, but its leader insists commitments remain unfulfilled. Davis says he doesn't cry over spilled milk. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. As union issues remain unsolved, many questioning if there could be more industrial action on the horizon. This morning, Prime Minister Philip Davis outlined why he thinks some issues continue to fester and what his administration is doing about it. Btvi McDermott gets us started tonight.
Amid a standoff between doctors' unions and the government, Prime Minister Philip Davis told reporters there are three major issues at the heart of the standoff. The first issue is overtime pay. According to the Prime Minister and Public Hospitals Authority executives, doctors have not been required to sign in and out of work.
How can we justify paying overtime without verifying who worked and when? This is not just a technicality. It is about protecting the public's investments in the healthcare system, and it is about accountability.
The second issue, according to the Prime Minister, involves health insurance. Davis telling us the government offered three comprehensive options providing flexibility and choice.
These options are designed to address the workers' needs while ensuring that the system remains financially sustainable.
Davis says he received an email from TUC President Obi Ferguson yesterday evening. He says he wishes to accept his offer to meet. The third issue is the finalization of the agreement. He says the government is ready, but union reps have failed to attend scheduled meetings, causing delays.
This undermines the process and ultimately prolongs the challenges faced by both workers and the public.
But the Consultant Physician Staff Association tell a different story. The union has said they have tried multiple times to meet with the Prime Minister and other officials, but feel they have been getting the runaround, prompting them to take part in the two-day rest day under the Trade Union Congress. We put the union's concern to the Prime Minister today.
They met with me at least, how many times they have not met with me, and talked through some of their issues. And then I would, having heard it, I would refer them to the various ministries to complete the discussions.
Now, despite both sides being at an impasse, the Prime Minister says his door remains open, adding his government stands ready to bring these matters to a close. Reporting for our news, I'm Btvi McDermott.
All right, thanks for that, Btvi. And still on the labor front, a new era begins for line staff at Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute as Bahamas Union of Auxiliary Professionals, BAUP, in education, takes over as their official bargaining agent. The monumental shift was announced Thursday in a press conference held by union executives, marking a new chapter for workers' rights at the institution. With over 45 members and growing, the union formed in response to years of workplace frustrations, including low wages, temporary contracts, and a lack of career growth. The new union emerged in response, as we said, to those frustrations, and the president, Ernesto Williams, says the union ready to fight for fair wages and better working conditions.
Born from their collective resolve, BUAP stands as a testament to the determination to build a union that reflects the voices, battles, and hopes of the people for a fair and just future. We registered in October 2023 as an officially recognized trade union of the Bahamas, and we marked our new chapter.
The transition was finalized after a poll on December 12th last year. Labor Minister Pia Glover-Roll confirmed the status of the union, revoking the Bahamas General Workers Union's position. Despite the victory, the new union's leader claims Btvi executives have yet to acknowledge their status. With an industrial agreement set to expire in June this year, The UAP says it's preparing to begin negotiations for a new contract that will include stronger provisions for financial stability, career development, and workplace improvements.
Where the current industrial agreement may only speak to general tippings, right, as it was a starter in such case. The new industrial agreement needs to meet even stronger concerns, right, even stronger and more viable career paths, ensuring that the privileges of our members are not only maintained, but that they show to the members, yes, we do value your commitment.
A man accused of attempting to kill 5 women will no longer be tried. 23-year-old Dino LaFleur was facing 5 counts of attempted murder and possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life. The case centered on a March 5, 2021 shooting. But prosecutors discontinued the case when LaFleur appeared before Justice Janine Weish-Gomez. LaFleur was alleged to be the gunman who opened fire on a car carrying 5 women as it traveled east along 2nd Street in Coconut Grove. And University of the Bahamas closer to selecting its next president, with the Board of Trustees announcing 3 finalists recently. After months of national and international recruitment, the candidates chosen following what UB says was a thorough evaluation process. The finalists, Dr. Maria E. Woodside Oriaki, a UB alumna with 25+ years in academia, Dr. Robert J. Blaine III, a strategic leader with academic and planning expertise, and Dr. Leroy Hamilton Jr. with over 30 years in higher education. In a statement, the board said the 9-member presidential search committee, with support from an international search firm, reviewed over 90 candidates. Finalists are expected to visit the Oakfield campus to meet key stakeholders before the board makes its final decision. Janine Hodder became acting president of UB on July 1st, 2023. Hodder, who previously served as president of the former College of the Bahamas from 2006 to 2010, was appointed following Dr. Eric Rollins' resignation in June 2023, citing personal and family reasons. All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he's standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Kenino, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. Another pleasant and cool evening setting up for us on the outside. Temperatures in the upper 60s, 69 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Winds have fallen off. They're now out of the east-southeast at 8 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 68. Temperatures around the islands right now, it's 66 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, over in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. We pick up 68, Alistown, Bimini, Great Harbor Key, and you guys in Alistown, Bimini, you having some showers nearby. Nickel San Andros, Great Governor's Harbor, 70, 69 here in the capital. Central Bahamas, 71s in Kemps Bay, Deadman's Keys. Pick up 66s once again in Georgetown and Arthurstown, Cat Island, Copentown, San Salvador, 69, and into the southeast Bahamas. Low 70s there with 73 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Abrahams Bay. Pair of 70s in Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, and Delectable Bay, Acklands. 74 in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos Islands, and Matthewtown, Inagua, deep south. You have a temperature right now of 75 degrees. Satellite radar composite, we have 2 frontal boundaries, one that's weakening and falling apart near the southeast Bahamas, just off the north coast of Hispaniola, but the other one, a low-pressure system that dragged a frontal boundary right across the northwest Bahamas. A lot of moisture associated with that boundary still across our area. Also, we have some spotty showers, but most of the activity staying well to the north of us across central Florida. That front will fall apart as it pulls east away from us, and we do expect another system to get near by the weekend that will introduce some more showers in the forecast. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Thanks, Greg. And when our news comes back from the break, could college swimming circuits hold the key to Olympic swimming success? A college insider weighs in tonight in night 4 of our week-long series, Swimming in Paradise. Plus,
coming up in sports, hear from the latest local baseball prospect added to the pipeline from the Bahamas to the Texas Rangers.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
America's 47th President Donald J. Trump takes office on January 20th. With a decisive victory and clear mandate from the American people, what will his anticipated policy changes in immigration, taxation, climate change, foreign policy, and social reconstruction mean for the Bahamas and the region? Join On the Record with me, Jerome Sawyer, Thursday, January 23rd at 8 p.m. from the nation's capital for a special Mission to Washington.
Unleash resilience. Secure the digital future. Navigate the evolving landscape of cyber threats. The future will be secured. Presenting the Alive Business Cybersecurity Conference. Securing the future. Navigating cyber challenges in business. Thursday, February 20th, 2025. Atlantis, Paradise Island. Register today. This is how we unleash resilience. This is how we create innovation. Together, let's secure the digital future.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the lives.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo.
The majority of our track and field Olympians gained their experience on the collegiate circuit. Natural talent and good college coaching have helped to earn many of those track and field medals we enjoy. So, could future Olympic swimming medals be tied to the collegiate circuit? Our Sasha Lightbourne continues to explore the question of our Olympic swimming with the College Insider in this edition of Swimming in Paradise.
The road to Olympic glory begins in earnest at the collegiate level. And no one knows that better than Nick Askew, head swim coach at Howard University. He's coached his fair share of Bahamians and knows the capabilities of our young swimmers.
When you look at the swimming as a sport, it's typically in the news and in the mainstream every 4 years. So that obviously those 3 years in between and that time, it's very difficult to have swimming as a topic of conversation.
Askew has been in the coaching profession since 1994, but in the past few years, he's come here to our swimming nationals to recruit.
I know and have full faith in the Bahamian educational system. And that's the number one thing. They can be extremely talented as an athlete or as a swimmer, but if we can't get them accepted in school and we don't have confidence that they can continue on and be successful as a student athlete at the Division I level, then it doesn't serve us any purpose to use this as a recruiting space.
And that signals that we'll be on the coveted Olympic medal podium very soon. But some sage advice: be patient. Olympic glory will come.
I think it's just a matter of time. I think the Bahamas is trending in the right direction, but we have to be realistic. Swimming at the Olympic level is a very elite. We're talking about the pinnacle. We're talking about the tip of the mountain.
So do we have a Michael Phelps or Katie Ledecky in our future? Well, consider this about the U.S. program made famous by these swimming legends.
Here in the United States, swimming is not one of the top 5 sports in the country. Yet we do have such a strong base in our USA swimming program, and we're continuing. Because of that, we're seeing more swimmers being at the Olympic level and achieving Olympic success.
Reporting for our news, I'm Sasha Lightbourne.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. Another young Bahamian baseball prospect is headed to the minor leagues. Dave Neely made it official with the Texas Rangers last night at his signing ceremony before dozens of friends and family at Premier Crew. The 17-year-old infielder out of the Maximum Development Sports Academy will begin his career at the rookie level in the Dominican Summer League. Neely is one of 23 prospects in the Rangers' 2025 international signing class. Of the franchise's current top 30 prospects, 13 were international signees.
Buddy Hield and the Golden State Warriors avoided a 3-game losing streak. Hield scored 18 points and shot 3 from 6 from the 3-point range in the Warriors' 116-115 win over the Minnesota Timberwolves last night at the Target Center in Minneapolis. He scored 8 points in the fourth to help Golden State survive a Minnesota rally that overcame an 11-point deficit in the period. In the most lopsided game of the night, maybe of the entire season, Kai Jones and the LA Clippers defeated the Brooklyn Nets 126-67. Eric Gordon continues his productivity this month, but his Philadelphia 76ers continued their 4-game losing streak. Klay Thompson finished with 12 points for the Dallas Mavericks in the 119-116 loss to the New Orleans Pelicans at the Smoothing King Center in New Orleans.
There were lots of changes to this year's Bahamas Bowl, and those decisions may have led to one of the highest-rated games in bowl history. Buffalo defeated Liberty on January 4th at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium, and the Bahamas Bowl registered its highest U.S. television rating since 2016. The game received a viewership of 1.14 million, peaking at 1.5 million, and that figure helped ESPN to a 14% increase in viewership of its non-playoff bowl games. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world. Tonight, saving TikTok. A top Trump advisor says the president-elect will put measures in place to stop an impending ban. Plus, egg prices surge as U.S. inflation picks up. We'll tell you the new numbers. And relentless gang violence has tripled the rate of homelessness in Haiti. We'll also tell you the numbers there in a new UN report when our news returns.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.
Joshua Williams here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button and to follow all of our social media pages. Also, don't forget to push that notification button so that you can see all of the great content from the team you already trust.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead with Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump is expected to step in to save TikTok before a ban on the app kicks in this weekend. That's according to his incoming national security advisor, Congressman Mike Waltz, who said on Thursday Trump would act if the Supreme Court upholds a law requiring TikTok's Chinese parent company, ByteDance, to sell the platform by January 19th. He also pointed out the law includes a 90-day extension if significant progress is made toward a sale. Meanwhile, the outgoing Biden administration reportedly looking for ways to keep TikTok running, according to NBC News. Energy and food costs surged in December, pushing U.S. inflation higher and challenging efforts to stabilize prices, according to new numbers. The Labor Department reported a 2.9% increase in overall prices compared to a year earlier. That's up from 2.7% in November. Energy prices accounted for over 40% of the rise, with egg prices skyrocketing 36% due to bird flu-induced shortages. And Haiti's internal displacement has surged to over 1 million people, tripling in the past year due to relentless gang violence. The UN Migration Agency reports as much, saying that over half are children, with conditions worsening in Port-au-Prince as displacement sites have soared from 73 to 108. The agency reports the crisis is being compounded by the forced return of 200,000 Haitians from the Dominican Republic. Meanwhile, Haiti's new public security chief, Mario Andresol, has vowed to tackle crime and bring peace to the nation.
And as you can imagine, the majority of those displaced originate from Port-au-Prince and its surrounding area. Many are seeking refuge in Haiti's provinces, overwhelming local communities and straining the limited support services that exist there. In the capital, IOM tells us there are now 108 displacement sites, which are severely overcrowded and lack adequate access to essential services such as food, clean water, sanitation, and education.
All right, just 2 weeks into 2025, we're already witnessing wildfires that are projected to be the costliest fire on record in American history, some pointing to climate change as a factor. In tonight's edition of Sustainability First, Marlena Leonard takes a look back at the highs and lows of 2024's track record and moving the sustainability needle.
2024 started with a big win for sustainability as the world passed a major milestone for clean energy, having generated a record 30% of electricity in the world through renewable energy. The year also saw the United Kingdom close its last coal plant, a huge step seeing that the country relied on coal for 80% of its electricity in 1990. But the year also highlighted some major setbacks to sustainability efforts around the world. There was a noted trend in some companies walking back on their sustainability and diversity promises, like the Tractor Supply Company, which eliminated their diversity, equity, and inclusion roles and withdrew their carbon emission goals, instead saying they would focus on their land and water conservation efforts after pressure from customers. And while many of us have gotten used to the convenience of help from artificial intelligence, while the service is free, that help doesn't come without a cost. Increased power demand from data centers means electricity demand is now expected to nearly double the previous forecasted growth over the next 5 years. According to a 2024 report from the Conference Board, current versions of AI platforms like ChatGPT pull the same amount of energy in 1 day, which would take the average U.S. household 47 years to use. But of course, there are still things you can do to create a positive impact for 2025 in sustainability history. Do your part to reduce your carbon footprint at home and on the road. Support and encourage businesses to prioritize sustainable efforts. And minimize your use of AI bots. Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was January 16th. Then in our news at 7:30, the Deputy Prime Minister says he's not worried about job security at 2 downtown Nassau properties amid a legal showdown between Bahamas' original developer and CCA. Plus, the troubling rise in fentanyl-related deaths has officials on edge. A top doctor and crime prevention chair shares his warning and what you need to know about the growing threat when Our News returns.
Joshua Williams here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button and to follow all of our social media pages. Also, don't forget to push that notification button so that you can see all of the great content from the team you already trust.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Sasha Lightborn here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow all of the Our News social media pages to make sure that you don't miss those top stories from the team you already trust.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having Business in a Box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Donald Trump has been elected president, defeating Vice President Kamala Harris.
America has spoken. Donald J. Trump is headed for a second term in the White House with a Republican majority in the Senate and the Supreme Court. On January 20th, the world will witness his inauguration, and our news will be there. What will his changes mean for Bahamians in the region? Join Jerome Sawyer and the Our News team for a week of reports starting Inauguration Day. Because Our News is always there when it counts.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more. this day in Bahamian history, in colonial 1967, Lyndon Oscar Pindling was sworn in as premier. He was the first black premier and second overall after Roland Simonette. Then in 2019, a Smithsonian Magazine article about Bahamian conchs highlighted a new study that had found the country's conchs have undergone serial depletion. The study, published in the journal Reviews in Fisheries, Science and Aquaculture, analyzed surveys of conchs in the Bahamas taken between 2009 and 2017. Researchers then compared the data to historic surveys dating back to 1987. Authors of the new study found intense fishing had a dire impact as the number of adult conchs have fallen in direct proportion to increased fishing pressure. Then in 2022, after a year-long delay by the pandemic, World Expo was underway in Dubai. Prime Minister Philip Davis, who was the keynote, was accompanied by the Police Band, All-Star Band, Junkanoo, and Dynamite Daisy Productions, to name a few. Over 160 Bahamians were there to perform. Thousands passed through the Bahamian Pavilion, which the Prime Minister toured. In all, 192 countries were on display. A political radical in his teenage years, Sean McQueenie KC led several protests as president of Unicom. Burning the Union Jack on Clifford Park was a climactic act for young McQueenie. However, it was just one of various extreme measures. He and other freedom fighters participated in the journey to our country's independence.
I made a speech as head boy at the annual graduation ceremonies in which I decried the fact that QC wasn't teaching anything Bahamian. And all we had was a bunch of English teachers, right? There were no Bahamian teachers at all. So it was a twofold thing. I said, one, we didn't have any Bahamian curriculum. We all knew the length and depth of the Thames River, but we didn't know anything about the Bahamas.
All right, you can see the full interview. It's available tonight at 8 p.m. Our Digital Pages series. For more information, follow Our News Bahamas on all social media platforms and subscribe to the Our News YouTube channel. If you want to see more exclusives like that and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. It's going to do it for us in News at 7. But before we toss to 7:30, Thursday is a new Friday here at Our News, and we want you to have some fun with us. Joining us now, entertainment correspondent Danielle Miller. Danny, I know you're looking to get a jump start on the weekend. What's the latest and where are you now? I know you've been to Fusion, to the Carnival, other places. Where are you now?
Thursdays, New Fridays, if you watch it on our social media page, I said I was going to take it easy tonight, but I kind of lied. Because in the words of our good friend Bethany McDermott, this week was warfare. So I'm chilling at the Dilly Club, and at 8 p.m., of course, I'll be watching Digital Pages. I'm gonna go outside and catch that, and then come back inside the Dilly Club because they have live music this Thursday and every other Thursday. And also, for your weekly dose of entertainment news, stay right there and watch Our News at 7:30. Back to you in studio, guys.
All right, Danny, before you go, who's the live entertainment tonight?
Who am I? Oh, tonight we have Trendy Guru. His name is Chavez.
All
And
right.
Trendy Guru has been blazing the party scene. Everybody stays tuned to his stories when there's a hot event going on. Because if you're not there, when you watch his stories, you feel like you're there.
Danny is a whole vibe.
Listen, do you know Trendy Guru?
I don't, but I'm looking forward to the story. And 7:30, I saw a little sneak peek, so
Yeah,
be
Danny,
sure.
have fun.
All right, well, we'll have more on Danielle's escapades in just a bit, but for now, here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our News Live at 7:30, Prime Minister Philip Davis says his administration honored their commitments from the 2021 Union Memorandum of Understanding with the TUC. However, TUC President Obi Ferguson sees it differently. We have the Prime Minister's full comments coming up. Also, the Public Managers Union and NIB finalized a 5-year agreement benefiting 175 managers. We have details from the signing at NIB headquarters this afternoon. Plus, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper responds to questions about potential job losses at 2 downtown properties straight ahead. And later, a local doctor and chair of the National Crime Prevention Committee opens up about the rise in fentanyl deaths. Our Joshua Williams has the latest when our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the R News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Once I had a gal, she called me pain. Left me in the cold and pouring rain. So I decided to put her down. I took a trip to Cowboy Town.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come, experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
Every season creates an opportunity for you to enjoy the comfort and security of your most valuable assets. Unfortunately, termites are common and very unwanted guests that never stop eating. With Strucum, you can enjoy the peace of mind as we protect your investment with our 3-year fumigation warranty. Strucum, #1 in pest control services.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Prime Minister Philip Davis believes his government has met commitments made in the Memorandum of Understanding signed with the Trade Union Congress and other unions. The MOU was signed in August 2021 ahead of the general elections. However, TUC President Obi Ferguson doesn't agree and has said the government has failed to meet some of the commitments. We put the matter to the Prime Minister this morning.
Gangs eye cancer on our communities, preying on the vulnerable, fostering fear, and fueling violence. We will not tolerate their existence, and each of you should commit yourselves not to tolerate this existence. So using the full strength of the anti-gang legislation, I expect a hard crackdown on these criminal networks.
Well, the Memorandum of Understanding called for an increase in minimum wage and implementation of a livable wage and the renovation of Workers' House in time for the 50th Independence celebration, among other things. All right, so we apologize for that technical difficulty. We'll come back to that in a later newscast. Well, the Public Managers Union and the National Insurance Board have officially signed a new industrial agreement set to run for the next 5 years. The signing took place this afternoon at the NIB headquarters on Blue Hill Road with some 175 managers set to benefit. Lead negotiator Rayangelo Seymour outlined several key provisions in their agreement. These include the removal of any direct tied to revenue income, updated acting allowances, promotions, and enhanced travel provisions for managers. And for the first time since 2015, members will also receive a signing bonus. Public Managers Union President Leslie Munnings highlighted, while the agreement spans over 40 pages, only one page deals directly with salary increases.
This means that we, both the PMU and NIB, understand that our success is based on much more than money. It establishes how we are to communicate on matters which affect our members and/or the operation. It establishes the importance of balancing measurable productivity with reward and even greater emphasis for members who live or service the sometimes remote Family Island communities.
And in the midst of ongoing labor issues nationwide, Munnings emphasized that harmony and communication have been key to their success. NIB Chairman Philip McKenzie echoed those sentiments, explaining their agreement will empower managers to lead with confidence.
Discussions with PMU started timely, so we started on time, and it was always open and very constructive. And in some cases, you know, there was even some weekend meetings to allow us to talk beyond some hurdles. So it wasn't an easy road, but NIB always accepted that PMU's was very constructive, and their communication, their effort was always to get us to the end in a very constructive and a productive way.
Well, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism Chester Cooper says he's not concerned about jobs at Margaritaville and the British Colonial Hotel amid an ongoing court battle between BML Properties Limited and China Construction America, which faces a legal battle. China Construction America accused Sarkis Milliron of seeking to create chaos after he filed a petition in the Supreme Court to put CCA, China State Construction Engineering Corporation, Bahamas, into liquidation. Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard told the media yesterday he's concerned about jobs at the downtown Nassau properties. Here's Cooper's response.
This doesn't mean that these hotels will close, and the government is committed to ensuring that there's no loss of employment. At the moment, we have a severe shortage of rooms in the country. The occupancy levels of the properties are very high. Employment levels in tourism is at an all-time high. In fact, there are a shortage of workers in some respect. So when we put all of this together collectively, my concern about the matter is low to moderate.
BML Properties Limited is requesting CCA Bahamas and CSCEC Bahamas go into liquidation for failing to satisfy a $1.6 billion judgment. In a statement, Ismilian said, quote, "We are seeking the protection of court-appointed guardians to ensure the continued stable operation of the hotels and preserving Bahamian jobs," end quote. BML is asking the court to appoint Simon Town and Jean K. Green Thompson of KPMG Bahamas Limited and James Neal of KPMG Ireland as official liquidators jointly to carry out the winding up of the companies. Cooper was asked if government could intervene in the matter.
If I recall, the statements expressly said that should he become the owners of these properties, there would be no loss of employment or no discontinuation of operations. I have no reason to doubt that.
Well, a judge has reserved a bail decision for a man accused of murder. Billy Martin is accused of the January 17, 2023 shooting death of Dominique Berry. Berry was driving to work on Infant View Road when a man alleged to be Martin cut him off and riddled his car with bullets. Prosecutors say Martin should remain behind bars because he might reoffend if given bail. Martin has a previous conviction for attempted murder. Justice Neil Brathwaite will give his decision on February 4th. This week, two murders rocked the nation. One a targeted killing. The other, a 33-year-old woman, was killed after being caught in a crossfire on Wednesday evening while driving in the car of a 31-year-old man who's believed to be the intended target. These incidents highlight the ongoing crime wave and raise concerns about public safety. Crime consultant Carlos Reed says these incidents point to a deeper issue of lawlessness and mistrust of law enforcement.
There has to be systematic approach, and there are some things that we're working on behind the scene that going to bring some systematic approach to this country. But I believe that it has to start with all of us. All of us have to live in this country. All of us have a role to play. We can't sit back and say this is a government problem, this is a police problem, this is a church problem. It's all of us.
Reed also warned young people to choose their associations carefully, citing a guilty by association culture among gunmen.
We are in a season, and I speak to all the young people out there. I speak to all the young ladies out there. You have to be careful with the people that you associate yourself with, because these brothers don't have no code. If they come for the other person and you get in the way, well, dog eat your lunch. So be careful with the people that you hang out with. Remember, I tell you that.
Well, you may need a jacket, hat, or maybe even socks as temperatures continue to drop in the capital. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions outside our studios and around the islands. 69 degrees is our current temperature, partly cloudy skies, east-southeast winds at 8 miles per hour, so those winds have come down a bit, but it feels like temperature is in the upper 60s, feels like 68 on the outside. Frontal boundary across the northwest Bahamas associated with a low-pressure system that pulled to the north and away from us. That will continue to keep that moisture in place, so we're looking for some cloudy conditions tonight. We should see some weakening of the system as it pulls towards the east and away from us, that frontal boundary, as I mentioned, and another one down near the southeast Bahamas that's basically falling apart. But we do expect another frontal boundary that should get near sometime by Sunday. That will introduce some more showers in the forecast for the upcoming week. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come in our news, an Inland Revenue Operations Manager outlines how the new VAT reduction on food items will roll out and what consumers can expect. Also, an RF Bank and Trust executive weighs in on the country's economic outlook, explaining why growth will be positive but at a moderate pace this year. And later,
tune into our news tonight for an exclusive interview of Chavez.
That's all coming up when our news returns.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
America's 47th President Donald J. Trump takes office on January 20th. With a decisive victory and clear mandate from the American people, what will his anticipated policy changes in immigration, taxation, climate change, foreign policy, and social reconstruction mean for the Bahamas and the region? Join On the Record with me, Jerome Sawyer, Thursday, January 23rd at 8 p.m. from the nation's capital for a special Mission to Washington.
Unleash resilience. Secure the digital future. Navigate the evolving landscape of cyber threats. The future will be secured. Presenting the Alive Business Cybersecurity Conference. Securing the future.
A deadly trend could be posing a threat to the Bahamas. Officials paying close attention to the number of fentanyl-related deaths in recent years. And while the last recorded one was about a year ago, a local doctor and chair of the National Crime Prevention Committee is opening up about it. Our Joshua Williams has this report.
We cannot afford to have a fentanyl epidemic. You have 3 minutes after injection, the kid dies.
Stakeholders used Thursday morning to brainstorm ways to prevent crime and violence. But it was during this forum, Chair of the National Crime Prevention Committee, Dr. David Allen, revealed that approximately 15 people have died from fentanyl use in recent years. A bad habit, he says, was picked up from our neighbors to the north.
Synthetic opiate, stronger than heroin, stronger than cocaine, comes in powder, comes in liquid, comes in solid. It's here.
Its effects, he says, can be deceiving at first, providing an initial high followed by a period of sadness, then sleepiness. But this is the reality according to Dr. Allen.
They're not snoring, they are dying.
Fentanyl is the major cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45. So how bad is the problem here? Between 2016 to 2024, 10 people died due to fentanyl use. Dr. Allen was one of the first to warn the government of the effects of the drug epidemic back in the 80s, and he says these latest drug-related deaths are worrying. He says the same message applies today.
Please preach it, because that's what our country stands for. That's what our parents came from. If we lose that, the fabric is gone.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Josh. Well, Prime Minister Philip Davis believes his government has met commitments made in the memorandum of understanding signed with the Trade Union Congress and other unions. We promised you the story at the top of the broadcast. The MOU was signed in August 2021 ahead of the general election. However, TUC President Obie Ferguson doesn't agree and has said the government has failed to meet some of its commitments. We put the matter to the Prime Minister this morning.
Well, I don't cry over spilt milk. It was a negotiated position, and despite what he's saying, we have lived up to the terms of that memorandum of understanding. And there are 1 or 2 or 3 matters that will take time to accomplish, and that's where we stand with it.
The MOU called for an increase in minimum wage, the implementation of livable wage, and the renovation of Workers' House in time for the 50th Independence celebration, among other things.
We intend to fulfill those other items. I think it's about 3 items we have determined are still outstanding. We intend to deal with them. One of it requires some capital outlay, and we could only do that when the capital is available. So that will take some time.
Well, food store operators should have more than enough time to prepare for the changes in VAT, and that's according to Senior Tax Manager and Operations Manager at the Department of Inland Revenue, Dexter Fernandez. Speaking as a guest speaker at the Office of the Prime Minister's weekly press briefing, Fernandez says the heads up goes beyond the typical time allotted.
I would be shocked that they would say they don't have sufficient timeline, especially since we normally give the same timeline for the back-to-school sale. These are the same individuals, same vendors who use their point-of-sale system and get that type of information. We normally give it 21 days before the back to school. We're giving them maybe 2 months. That will lead to April 1st. And so by the time that it's tabled, they would know exactly the specific items. So right now, those individuals already have that ability within their system.
And as we move into the 3rd week of 2025, projections for the year ahead are being shared by experts. While tourism numbers are expected to rise, there are signs of a slowdown in the broader economy due to several factors. While during our monthly sit-down with David Slatter, Vice President and Group Head of Investment at RF Bank and Trust, he shared his views on the topic.
The expectation is that you'll see positive GDP growth, but decreasing in 2025, and that's still the case. There have been a few things that have happened abroad that have been, give you a little bit of hope that maybe the growth will be a little bit better than expected, and that's that the U.S. economy is performing a little better than expected. So recently they had their jobs report, and the unemployment rate went down from 4.2% to 4.1%. Whether that's just a temporary change in the gradual upward trend in unemployment, we'll see, but hopefully it's not, and hopefully the U.S. economy is doing better than perhaps people are expecting it to, and that'll feed into the Bahamian economy.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
When our news comes back from the break, he's capturing thousands of viewers with his fashion content and exclusive event coverage. Our Daniel Miller has his story coming up.
Coming up in sports, Dave Neely makes it official with the Texas Rangers, Buddy Buckets helps the Warriors get back into the win column, and a look at the ratings from the Bahamas Bowl.
And as temperatures drop, residents may need to grab a light jacket. Find out what the week has in store for the capital and the country when our news returns.
America's 47th President Donald J. Trump takes office on January 20th. With a decisive victory and clear mandate from the American people, what will his anticipated policy changes in immigration, taxation, climate change, foreign policy, and social reconstruction mean for the Bahamas and the region? Join On the Record with me, Jerome Sawyer, Thursday, January 23rd at 8 p.m. from the nation's capital for a special Mission to Washington.
Unleash resilience. Secure the digital future. Navigate the evolving landscape of cyber threats. The future will be secured. Presenting the Alive Business Cybersecurity Conference. Securing the future. Navigating cyber challenges in business. Thursday, February 20th, 2025. Atlantis, Paradise Island. Register today. This is how we unleash resilience. This is how we create innovation. Together, let's secure the digital future.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the lives.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. Another young Bahamian baseball prospect is headed to the minor leagues. Dave Neely made it official with the Texas Rangers last night at his signing ceremony before dozens of friends and family at Premier Crew. The 17-year-old infielder out of the Maximum Development Sports Academy will begin his career at the rookie level in the Dominican Summer League.
I mean, it's been a lot of sacrifices. You know, it's been a lot of long nights, a lot of early mornings. I've been working my butt off for this opportunity, but the work just really started, so I'm ready.
Neely is one of 23 prospects in the Rangers 2025 international signing class. Of the franchise's current top 30 prospects, 13 were international signees.
On behalf of the Rangers, we are very excited today to sign Dave. It's part of our commitment of finding talent everywhere in the world. And the Bahamas has been a great place for baseball, and we hope it continues to be like that. We are very excited with what Dave brings to the table. And more importantly, we're very excited of the human that we're signing today.
Buddy Hield and the Golden State Warriors avoided a 3-game losing streak. Hield scored 18 points and shot 3 from 6 from the 3-point range in the Warriors' 116-115 win over the Minnesota Timberwolves last night at the Target Center in Minneapolis. He scored 8 points in the fourth to help Golden State survive a Minnesota rally that overcame an 11-point deficit in the period. The Warriors are 10-0 this season when Hield scores at least 18 points. Golden State concluded their 4-game road trip to come back to a 500 record at 20-20. In the most lopsided game of the night, maybe of the entire season, Kai Jones and the LA Clippers defeated the Brooklyn Nets 126-67. Jones finished with 6 points on 3 for 4 shooting from the field, 3 rebounds, and a block shot in 14 minutes. Eric Gordon continues his productivity this month, but his Philadelphia 76ers continued their 4-game losing streak. He finished with 14 points on 3 for 5 shooting from the field in the Sixers' 125-119 overtime loss to the New York Knicks last night in Madison Square Garden. It was his 3rd consecutive game scoring in double figures. Klay Thompson finished with 12 points for the Dallas Mavericks in the 119-116 loss to the New Orleans Pelicans at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans.
There were lots of changes to this year's Bahamas Bowl, and those decisions may have led to one of the highest rated games in bowl history. Buffalo defeated Liberty on January 4th at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium, and the Bahamas Bowl registered its highest U.S. television rating since 2016. The game received a viewership of 1.14 million, peaking at 1.5 million, and that figure helped ESPN to a 14% increase in viewership of its non-playoff bowl games. The game was the only bowl game aired during that time slot on ESPN's family of networks. During the telecast, the Bahamas was featured prominently in the tape segments and also during commercial breaks. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. You know, I'm not the greatest at math, but if the Warriors are undefeated when Buddy scores 18,
let the man shoot the rock.
Let the man shoot the rock. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, meet Chavez, a young Bahamian capturing thousands of viewers with his fashion trends. Our Daniel Miller has his story straight ahead. And cool weather hits the capital, but will it last throughout the week? Greg has the answer when our news returns. Stay with us.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you...
This is our news. Welcome back. We are tracking 2 frontal boundaries, one that's falling apart near the southeast Bahamas, not much associated with that boundary, but the other one, a low-pressure system that dragged the front across the northwest Bahamas, keeping us under cloudy conditions across that area. Most of the activity staying to the north of us across central Florida, but we do expect a couple of spotty showers across the area. That will continue to plague us through Friday and into Saturday, and then again we expect another low-pressure system that's starting to develop in the Gulf of Mexico. That will in turn drag another front across us by Sunday and Monday, so we're looking for some continued nice conditions over the next couple of days. Future forecast showing the moisture associated with that boundary across the northwest Bahamas, most of the activity in the Gulf of Mexico, but it will eventually pull across the northwest Bahamas through Friday, so more scattered showers, isolated scattered showers expected in the forecast, and most of the activity pulling out towards the eastern way for us. But here comes the other front across the Gulf of Mexico, that one once again getting in here by Sunday time frame. Boating forecast for the northwest and central Bahamas, caution flag for the Atlantic side. Rip current risk is still elevated. East to southeast winds at 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, but building up to 6 feet in the Atlantic in some northeasterly swells. High tide is at 9:44 tonight. The low tide takes place at 3:48 in the morning. For the southeast Bahamas, caution flag also in place for the Atlantic side. East to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, but up to 6 feet in northeasterly swells in Atlantic waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, we'll keep some showers in the forecast on Friday. Temperatures will stay in the mid-70s, but we expect those to jump back to near the 80-degree mark Saturday and Sunday. Frontal boundary comes through on Sunday. Temperatures take a little bit of a dip, but we will still stay near the 80-degree mark for the upcoming week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, in the social media world, there's an influencer that's keeping thousands of local and international viewers entertained with his fashion and inside looks at the country's hottest events. Our Daniel Miller caught up with him to uncover the reason why he is currently trending. Let's take a look.
From you know me, I've never been a regular person. I've always been outside the box. I love the attention I get.
This is the one and only social media influencer, Chavez, better known by thousands as Trendy Guru. He's blazed the local party scene, having a staggering 3.6 million viewers in the last month watching his every move on Instagram. He says exhibiting his unique style is what captivates his audience, and his larger-than-life personality oozes confidence that's infectious.
In the Bahamas, to be exact, you know, we have a lot of people that pass judgment towards you based off of how you conduct yourself as an individual or how you must carry yourself out when you party in. Whereas, you know me, I don't care. Live your life for you.
Although he may fancy a good time, Chavez is about his business. Prompted by his friends, he's turned his fanfare into revenue.
And when I started doing karaoke, I noticed I've been gaining a lot of love, a lot of respect, a lot of, fans. And I was like, well, is this me? Is karaoke just me, or should I branch off and do party hostings or event hostings, etc.? And that's when I started getting into partying.
As a follower of Chavez, I've watched him leave an event at 4 a.m. and head to work at 6 a.m. the same morning. A master of balancing his double life, he tells us why he is determined for his high energy to remain consistent.
I was raised in a big family home, and my granddaddy and my Grammy, God rest their souls, they really instilled that regardless where you go, you always have a positive attitude because you never know who you're going to meet. You never know what opportunity you're going to run into. Thanks, R News, for having me. It was such a pleasure, guys.
Reporting for R News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks for that, Denny, and thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening. Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team